sit back and say, hey, we're going to accept this mediocrity.
No matter what your record is.
No question.
No, season is a marathon, not a sprint.
Let me write that one down.
Just keep trusting yourself.
The season is a marathon,
not a sprint.
Not a sprint.
And then make sure you put Shaq-Stradamus.
Shaq-Stradamus.
Did you actually make that up?
Something that was already said many moons ago.
I've never heard that
you're acting like it's your original thought.
It is my original.
I've never heard that before.
It's not a marathon, it's a sprint. Yeah, get away.
Who said that before? I've never heard that.
Oh.
I got one for you, Ernie.
What's that?
E equals MC tripled.
Ah.
I've never heard that either.
No, nobody has ever said that either.
Think about it, guys.
I've thought about it all I want.
I did the math. It doesn't work.
For a win against an Eastern Conference rival, the Indiana Pacers are ready to go. Welcome to 2K Sports, bringing you the NBA. Along with Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. Here with us, basketball expert and former late-night comedy writer. A lot of people don't know this, Bill Simmons.
Yeah, as soon as I left, Kimmel's show took off, so I think I was the reason.
You built the foundation for it, let's be honest.
I was there for the early years.
You said it was a very influential time in your life, a very good thing for you to do.
Oh, it was fantastic. I learned a lot. I learned how to not get my jokes on the air, and I learned a lot about humility.
Coming in off the road, the 76ers are back in Philadelphia for this game. This is an important game for them because they've really been struggling. Just one win in their last 5 games.
And for Philadelphia, for me, they've taken the league by storm this season. I felt like they were maybe a year ahead of schedule in terms of being an elite group. But you look at them right now, and here they are.
Yeah, they weren't really on anyone's radar before the season began, but they're definitely there now.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. Sabonis and Turner inside. Bogdanovich out there with Russell Westbrook. And it's Prince in at the 3-side. Indiana shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game. Free throw, no good.
Well, Domantas Sabonis, the son of a legend. To me, guys, he has everything he needs to be an effective player for years to come in the NBA. Size, length, feel, there's a lot to like.
No good on the second free throw. You know, Bill, when you look at the players the Sixers have put together, they should be a perennial contender, it would seem, on paper for years to come.
But that's the thing about the NBA. You never know.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of these teams that looked like they were the next potential dynasty, and within 2 years, they made a trade. Somebody got hurt. I mean, you talk about the 80s Rockets. You talked about the Magic in the 90s. They made the finals. Within 14 months, that whole team is gone. The OKC Thunder, 2012, Game 5, Miami. I took a picture of KD and Harden and Westbrook with their arms around each other. They never played together again. So I think the thing you learn over and over again with basketball, even Derrick Rose and the Bulls, every time you think there's the next young team that's coming, they still have to actually do it. And sometimes they don't.
And that one falls for Anthony Davis. Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a loss to the Celtics in Boston. Covington against Prince. The pass to Bogdanovich. Clock at 6. Great D that time from Davis. Quick start here for the 76ers in this one. Last game matchup with the Suns, a tough loss there.
Yeah, they were able to keep it close for the most part, but you could just tell they were not in sync as a unit.
You knew they weren't playing well. They tried to make some adjustments. Those got countered. This just wasn't their night.
Here's Westbrook after Ben Simmons bucket. Westbrook passes to Sabonis to end the run. That one's not going to go. Great D that time from Davis. And Simmons kicks to Covington. Right side Redick. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Outside Davis. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. Davis has got 6 points.
Oh, great ball movement there.
For Indiana, they've gone 0-4, missing their first 4 field goals. So the Pacers called timeout, their first of the game. Last time they met was in Indiana.
And really a resounding loss the last time they matched up. They got absolutely manhandled on the boards.
You know, sometimes it's about gang rebounding, making sure everyone's in on the responsibility to board it. Let's see if it's more of a group effort tonight.
Turner finds Westbrook. Simmons with the defensive effort.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
With Embiid, modern superstar, knows how to connect with fans using his social media to his advantage. He has got a very charismatic side to him.
He does. I wish he cared a little bit less about it. I don't mean to sound like an Embiid critic, but I think he's very aware of his surroundings at all times. You could feel it at the playoff games that I went to in Boston, where he's very aware of the fans, and he's very aware of getting booed and kind of looking around. And I think there's another level that he can go to as a player of just like, guess what? None of that stuff matters. Just play basketball. You're 7'3", and you're unstoppable. I thought he just needs to be a little more locked in and a little less aware of that other stuff, and I think he needs to be in better shape. You saw in the playoffs, he would peak in the first 3 quarters, and by the 4th quarter, I thought he was dead. You could see his hands are on his knees, and the reason he wasn't in great shape was he'd never come close to playing that many minutes in 4 years. So the key for him is, can he play around 70 games a season? Can he play 30 minutes a game? Can he get to 2,100 minutes for the year? And can he have something left in the tank for the playoffs? Because his conditioning really hurt him against the Celtics.
Now here's Westbrook, following the miss by Anthony Davis. Westbrook passes to Prince. And Bogdanovich kicks to Turner. Shot clock at 6. Westbrook. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. It's Davis on the wing. Defended by Sabonis. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. The 76ers shooting their 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
The first one falls. And so he hits both. Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree, but for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to talk.
Well, you challenge people, which is that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And
That's
you got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it. Yeah.
So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk, and we did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
And he makes that one. Westbrook's got his second basket.
I think you've got to admire the court awareness of Russell Westbrook, because if you give him a window on the drive, he's going to take it for sure.
Here's Noel. That one drops for him. I want to get back to what we were chatting about, Bill, with how today's NBA players are so media ready, whether it be interviews or social media. Your take is really interesting.
I think in general, all these guys, the guys now are so used to talking to people and being in front of people. They're not surprised by questions, and they know how to handle themselves. They know how to not get in trouble and they're comfortable.
Maybe they've kind of grown up with you, though, too. You know what? You've been relevant for many years. Well, they've grown up with your stuff.
To be honest, a lot of them just know me as the white guy on NBA Countdown. They might not have read me, but they remember like that year I was with Jalen Rose. But what's weird is...
I think you'd be surprised. More of...
Well, you know this, too. When you're on TV, the credibility you get from being on TV, I wasn't prepared for within the NBA.
Oh, really?
I think that's true, yeah. I think it's like, oh, he's on TV, he's okay. Mm-hmm. And maybe they don't agree with you all the time, but you've passed some imaginary checkpoint with those guys.
Well, you may think that TV was your validation. This is going to be your validation.
Oh, 100%.
2K. This is it. I'm stamping you right now.
This is better than winning a Pulitzer Prize.
Here's Turner after the Sixers pick up 2. Moore outside. Pass to Korkmaz. Fires the 3. No good on the shot. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Pass to Moore. He kicks it to Simmons. Over Westbrook. That's short off the rim. Pacers trail by 12. Bill, Commissioner Adam Silver believes the 2K Esports League will have the staying power of the NBA, the WNBA, the G League. A pretty powerful comment to make.
And I hope he's right, because I want to be the lead color guy. I want us to be the team. Why can't it be us, Kevin Harlan?
Are you kidding me?
Let's do that. Cut me the check.
Sign
As Rasheed Wallace
up.
would say, CTC. Cut the check.
Bill Simmons is here.
I'm ready.
And when you build a big lead like this, especially early, you have to guard against the letdown.
No, exactly right. You can't afford to get complacent, right? They have to stay hungry and humble if they want to keep this lead.
Now here's Evans. 8 points his last outing. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Philadelphia gets called for the foul. And he's got his first free throw of the game.
2 shots.
And he makes the first. And both free throws good for Evans. Simmons with it. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against the Suns in Phoenix.
Yeah, I was also struck by how well he shared the basketball. He created a lot of easy buckets with that passing ability.
Now here's Moore, leading by 12. Davis in the corner, 6 to shoot. Noel down low. He's against Turner, and it's Noel missing. And Indiana shooting a mere 25% from the floor in this first quarter. They get the rebound, and the rejection by Noel.
This is a staple of his game. Nerlens Noel sends it back.
The 76ers leading by 12. Simmons finds Moore. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Ben Simmons gets the bucket. Simmons got 6. Bill, we know in your writing that you love to incorporate pop culture references. How did that begin with you?
Well, it began because in college I was dropping them in columns and people were responding. I think pop culture probably mattered more when I was in college in the 80s and 90s because, you know, we didn't have the internet back then. It was harder to connect with people you didn't know. Basically, you had sports and pop culture and politics. Those were the 3 ways. If I'm getting to know you, what are the 3 things we're going to talk about? I didn't want to talk about politics with anybody, so the other 2 things for me were sports and pop culture. I was also an only child in the 70s with only 5 or 6 TV channels watching Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Sanford and Son, Jefferson's, Good Times, all that stuff. And, you know, that stuff just soaks into your DNA, and that's it.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Pacers trail by 18. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
Well, Miles Turner consistently looking to shoot the basketball. He forces the defense to make an aggressive play.
The Pacers have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line. The first free throw is good.
Well, the athleticism that Miles Turner brings to the center spot is quite remarkable. This guy, an exceptional player on both sides of the floor.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Tyler Zeller's checked in for T.J. Leaf. Rodney McGruder comes in for Taurean Prince. And Shane Larkin subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Philadelphia leading by 16. Kicks it to Noel. Pass to Smith. He's looking for Embiid and finds him. And the officials call him for a 3-second violation. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for Philadelphia.
And a shot they haven't been looking for very much is that corner 3. And when they have, these been quick to kind of close out and deny it, and they've had to get their points from elsewhere.
Indiana making some changes. T.J. Leaf comes in for Miles Turner, and it's Bogdanovich in for Rodney McGruder. Now Evans. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. The pass to Zeller. That one's rebounded by Embiid. Now the 76ers with it. They're on a 14-6 run. Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them, and they won the title.
How old were you in 72?
So I was 4.
4 years ago.
I'm not going to lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on that team?
Cowens, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. Was probably the most famous NBA game ever. The kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something. But triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime.
Oh, no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing the whole second overtime, so I had to get up.
And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time. And stolen by Noel. 1:15 left to play in the first quarter. The dish now to Reddick. Clock at 6. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off. Fades back, and there's Embiid. That's good on the assist from Reddick. Embiid's got his first points of the game.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
To the inside, Zeller. Rebound by the 76ers.
Boy, not enough spring in his step on the way to the cup. He actually short arms that layup.
Smith against Bogdanovich. Bounce pass Embiid. Dishes it to Noel. And stolen by Zeller. An even 3-on-3 break. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And Bogdanovich kicks to Zeller. Bogdanovich looking around. 6 on the shot clock. And so Indiana again turning it over. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
And, you know, you have to feel terrible about how that thing turned out. I mean, the game was really going about as expected until they just gave up that huge surge there late in the game, totally lost momentum, and ended up losing it.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
I don't think you can ask for anything more, Greg. What a wonderful job establishing a lead early in this one.
And the buzzer sounds to end the first, and we've got a blowout underway here. 76ers ahead as they end the first quarter with a huge surge, an 18-6 run. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And a comfortable margin here for the 76ers guys.
Listen, early on taking the league, I just like their approach offensively.
I think their play calling has been exceptional. They played with purpose and they played with aggressiveness.
Philadelphia leading by 20. Bill, a top advisor for the U.S. High School Athletics and Activities Division, recommended that schools adopt esports programs. What's your take on that?
I'm all in. It's probably my son's only chance to go to college, so I really hope it happens. Now, listen, the world changes every decade.
I know.
And you got to change with it. And the reality is esports is one of the biggest things we have now. And if you're under 15, you're way more likely to play video games and be good at that than you are to do anything else. So why wouldn't you be able to benefit from that? The whole esports in general, just the audiences they're getting, and as a spectator event, that's been building, so why wouldn't that work for college?
On the court for Indiana, Bogdanovich out there with Leaf. Then it's Zeller, and there's Shane Larkin, and it's Magruder in at the 2. And now a chance to see what's coming up for the Philadelphia 76ers. On Sunday, they'll be facing Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors. Then on Thursday, they'll face off against DeAndre Jordan and the Orlando Magic.
And no secret that this team can be very tough in their own building. And that's good news as they are loaded up with home games over the next stretch. This is a chance to create some separation.
Now here's Embiid. They lead by 24, their biggest margin. Thinking about how much sports video gaming has changed over the decades, Bill, can you imagine a 13, 14-year-old Bill Simmons with the 2K product? You would just be all over that, wouldn't you?
You have no idea, Kevin Harlan. I was there for every step of the video game revolution. I had an Intellivision and an Atari. I had Nintendo. I had Super Nintendo. I had all 3 of the first PlayStations.
You played them all the time.
I played entire Madden seasons on the treadmill when I was like in my early 30s. Try playing any video game on the treadmill. Try it and try not falling off. It's impossible. I've been there every step of the way. I am pro esports. Basketball, I'm jealous of the people who can play 2K well because there's just, not sound like an old guy, but so many buttons and so many things to remember. I'm always so impressed when people just remember all the combinations and stuff. I'm jealous.
Like your son does.
My son can do it.
Yeah, I know.
But I could have done it. I know
you could have.
I want to take 1984 me out of a time machine and just give me this game. I would have unleashed.
Yeah, but 13-year-old Bill Simmons would like what 40-year-old Bill Simmons is.
13-year-old Bill Simmons would be amazed that 48-year-old Bill Simmons was getting paid to do anything. He'd really be excited about that. Just that he wasn't living at home. We would have been fired up.
Bill, several of your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. And, it turns out
they embraced the
I think they did. They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilet or bring on an airplane or whatever they wanted to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that, honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Will Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they played together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Will Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that made me want to write the book.
And the Pacers call time here.
Well, he needs to talk to his guys. The interior defense has been horrific.
Absolutely no rim protection whatsoever. At this point, the other team is walking all over them on the inside.
That's his first personal foul.
Feeds it to Zeller. Indiana moving the ball around. Here's Magruder, covered by Smith. Magruder, that's good.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
Pass to Noel. Pass to Embiid. And he makes good on the layup. Embiid's got 10 points.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Larkin, the pass to Zeller. Here's Larkin. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Now, here's Bogdanovich, and it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Now, here is Smith. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And the foul goes against Indiana.
Boy, there's an energy about Nerlens Noel. And if he's being this assertive, the defense has got to be uneasy.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Noel.
And, you know, guys, listen, Noel brings value. The reason he's a menace on the defensive end and an absolute warrior on the glass.
And Indiana making a change here. Turner's checked in for Tyler Zeller. Sabonis comes in for Leaf. Prince is checked in for Bogdanovich. And it's Russell Westbrook in for Shane Larkin. And so he makes both from the line. And so Westbrook will bring it up for the Pacers. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Outside Turner. Covington with the steal. Here's Moore. Wide open shot is on the money. Moore's got his first basket.
The offense is running well, but more importantly, they're taking the shots they know they can make.
Well, they haven't had to force anything. They're simply moving the ball and working for the best available shot.
Now here's Prince. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Boston. Shot clock at 5. And it's Magruder missing.
Nice timing to get up on that shot.
Boy, you can't ask for better defense, Greg. Excellent work getting right into the grill of the shooter.
For Indiana, they've gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Prince outside. Knocked loose and stolen by Simmons. And Moore kicks to Simmons. Floats it up for Davis. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Just an amazing feel for the game. Simmons is so gifted at reading the floor.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now, here's Sabonis. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Shots good by Turner.
Now, I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently, neither did the defenders.
Passes it to Covington. Sabonis against Davis. Back to Covington. He dishes it to Noel. It's tipped. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. While we've got a moment, let's now take a look at the teams that have the most second chance points on the season. The 76ers, number 1.
You know, they've been so aggressive on the offensive boards, and they're earning every one of those second chance buckets with that relentless effort.
3 from the inbound.
I'll tell you, he's been dry from three-point range in the second quarter after hitting one in the first.
And it's Magruder in the corner. Back to Westbrook. He kicks it to Turner. The pass to Prince. Out to the right wing. 5 to shoot. Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook, and it's Noel with the rebound.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously cold right now, but he's trying to find that rhythm. You've got to keep working.
Westbrook finds Turner. Now here's Prince. He's covered by Noel. Prince's shot is good.
You hope that's a wake-up call for the defense, boys, because you give them that clean a look and it's over.
Moore dishes to Simmons. Knocked away. Davis scored that one for him. His 8th field goal. 8 for 11 on a very accurate night.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Westbrook surveying the D. Trying to break that ice-cold streak.
And don't forget about the long reach that Simmons possesses. He uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with blocks like that. And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Here's Magruder. At the top of the key, Sabonis. The shot by Turner, no good.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And here is Noel. His last outing, he had 8 points. Here's Magruder. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. Moore outside. To the middle. Here's Noel. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Noel's got 4 this quarter. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Westbrook passes to Prince. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
That's his second personal foul.
For Indiana, they have made 4 free throws from the line and missed 2.
Taking 2 shots.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
He's off on the first. Some changes for Philadelphia. Embiid comes in for Noel. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Moore. In Indiana with a change here, too. Evans is checked in. He hits the second from the line. And Simmons has got the ball here for the Philadelphia 76ers. Up top, Covington. From 17 feet out, the shot will not fall. So Indiana will take it the other way. Evans against Redick. Evans with it. Outside Westbrook. 5 on the clock. Over Simmons. That one off the back iron and out.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Fades away. And he gets it to go. Simmons got 8.
Nice use of the mid-range J by Simmons, taking whatever the defense gives him out there.
Here's Westbrook. Indiana again missing.
Well, there's no consistency from the field in this quarter. We'll see if he can get his shot going.
Always full of terrific insights. Bill Simmons, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. My insights, thank you as well.
There's always a spirited discussion when Bill's involved. Not afraid to share his personal views.
Yes, Kevin, he has broken the internet once or twice. This guy is no stranger to controversy. But I will say this, he is passionate about the NBA.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
It's Prince on the wing, defended by Covington, and it's good. 2 points. 6 points for Taurean Prince.
You know, after not scoring a single point in the first quarter, they're still feeding him, and he's showing his appreciation.
Pass to Redick. We've got 33 seconds left in the second quarter. Embiid kicks to Davis. Over Evans. Misses off the right iron. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Prince in the corner. The feed now to Evans. Back to Westbrook. Over Simmons, and it's Westbrook. That time on the assist by Evans. Westbrook's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
We know this, Kevin. This mid-range game has always been attached to Russell Westbrook.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so just dominating this one. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, what is your impression of the first half?
I think we played. And I thought we found a really good balance of posting and pace is what we've been talking about. And I thought our defense, for the most part, was excellent.
A good start. We'll see how they finish. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After one half of play, it's been a one-sided affair. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was a big-time first quarter from Anthony Davis. He ended up with 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 steal. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, what I like with Anthony Davis, obviously, he's one of the most skilled bigs we've ever seen. But we're starting to see more power to his game. Just the ability to be physical when he needs to. So it always comes back to his health with him. Is he healthy? Then sky's the limit.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Indiana?
Well, they were playing like it was Christmas, Ernie. Giving up a lot of turnovers. There's no excuses for the turnover numbers, sloppy ball handling. They look out of control, and the execution was all over the place.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
The beautiful skyline of downtown Philadelphia, all lit up, pressed up, and ready to go. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. You know, Davis has been exceptional here, guys.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters, just a great effort for him for the entire half.
I don't think you could ask for anything more from this guy. He has been fantastic to start this one.
We now have rules, Doris, that protect shooters from defenders stepping underneath them. But what about when the defender leaves his feet and the offensive player steps underneath and tries to draw the foul?
Well, I think one of the things that we have to look at is, okay, we certainly do not want the defender to have unnatural movements which place him underneath the feet of a shooter, because that's where injuries can happen. On the other side of the equation, and this has become problematic to me, you see far too many shooters either jump unnaturally outside of what should be a straight up and down shooting motion, or guys who kick their legs sideways in an attempt to draw contact and fall over. But Kev, this is where officiating is about feel, touch, and vision.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. So on the floor for Philadelphia, Simmons runs the show with Redick at the 2. Robert Covington out there with Davis, and it's Embiid in at the 5, roaming the paint.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Wow, Kev, love the power and the strength of Bogdanovich on that strong finish.
And here's Redick. He'll bring it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. Kicks it to Simmons. He feeds it to Davis. Goes back up. And Simmons slams it in.
And how about the passion of Simmons? Just sticking with it on the glass.
The Pacers shooting a pretty sorry 29% from the floor here. Inside, Turner. And it's slammed in by Turner.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Now, here's Redick. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. And Embiid is right there.
Oh, and a nice job of turning that miss into 2 points on the tip in.
Hustle points, I believe they call them. Hustle points right there. Indiana moving it around. Prince against Covington. Prince kicks to Turner. Now here's Prince. Defense right on him. 3 on the clock. The fadeaway. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Simmons got 9 rebounds now tonight. And the wide open shot from Redick. Here's Davis. And the layup is good. Davis has got 26.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it.
Now here's Prince. 6 points for him. Got a piece of it. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here.
And a chance here to check out some stats on Anthony Davis. The past month has been surreal. 11th in blocks, 12th in steals, and he's among the top 15 in rebounding. Just a powerful presence in the paint.
And trying to muscle up shots against him is tough. His body type makes it supremely difficult. Just a dominant rim protector all season. It's tipped.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area. They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Outside Westbrook, the dish to Prince. Turner trying to free himself up. Prince's shot is good. Prince has got 8 points. For Philadelphia, they've gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Redick finds Simmons. Over Westbrook. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. 12 points for him.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Prince against Covington. Outside Bogdanovich. To the paint. Here's Sabonis. And Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
Here's Westbrook following the basket by Anthony Davis. Sabonis, the pass to Turner. It's stolen by Davis. Down low. The second effort. Sabonis grabs the board. Pacers have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter. 50% from the field. Outside Westbrook. Over in the corner, Turner. Shot clock at 6. Outside Bogdanovich. Buries the long-range jumper.
Boy, you love to see Bogdanovich stroke that deep ball. What an accomplished scorer from distance. I don't think many knew what to expect from Domantas Sabonis after his trade to Indiana, but what they got is a very smart basketball player who's got size, feel, and skill.
Now here's Prince. After Ben Simmons' miss, Prince kicks to Westbrook. Covington against Prince. Outside Turner. Over Embiid. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. And the 76ers with some changes. Smith checked in for Robert Covington. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for J.J. Redick. The Pacers also changing it up. Zeller, he's checked in for Turner. Rodney Magruder comes in for Taurean Prince. And it's Evans in for Bogdanovich. Now here's Westbrook. He has 6. Pass to Sabonis. Indiana needs to get a shot off. For 3, Westbrook. He can't get that one. Simmons with the defensive effort. And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for Philadelphia. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. With a break in the action, let's take a peek at the top rebounding teams in the NBA this season. The 76ers, number 1.
They are tenacious when it comes to attacking the backboard. Physical, smart, and determined. No surprise to see them at the top of the ranking.
Westbrook with it. Picked up by Davis. Passes it to Evans. Sabonis with the ball. Outside Westbrook. Connects from three-point range. Westbrook's got 9.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
And Simmons kicks to Davis. The pass to Smith. Here's Embiid. They get the rebound. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Westbrook finds Zeller. Back to Westbrook. Unloads from 13. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Simmons got double-digit rebounds now in the game.
Well, this is a tough night so far. They'd be smart to rely more on a couple of their other options.
Now here's Evans. Pass to Magruder. Poked loose and stolen by Simmons. Smith the pass to Simmons. Here's Davis. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Locker room presence, one of the aspects that gets overlooked by fans, but Doris, not by coaches. And there are some players who have that presence.
You know what, Kevin? And this can take the shape of a lot of different things. So one guy that comes to mind is Sean Livingston. Always calm, always about team. Thaddeus Young is not a name necessarily that is at the top of every best player list, but anyone who's ever coached Thad Young believes in his ability to affect positively a locker room. Then you have those guys who maybe are going to challenge you a little bit more, but ultimately are good for the team. And I would cite Draymond Green, who will call out a teammate if necessary, push them to greater heights. You need both kinds, I think, Kevin, in your locker room.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. A lot of times late in the season, Doris, we see the expensive vets bought out of their contracts. Often they sign for a cheap price for a true contender, and that affects parity among postseason qualifiers.
No doubt about it, Kevin. It really brings into very sharp focus the value of a quality GM, because the rich can get richer, and it can tilt things toward the top teams. I don't mind it, Kevin. Part of the reason these players agree to a buyout in the first place is the opportunity to choose their next situation. It is within the rules, and therefore I have no problem with it.
I like it as well. For Indiana, they have gone 5 of 8 from the charity stripe here tonight.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. He's perfect from the line this time. Here's Simmons. He's got 12. To the paint. Here's Smith. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Smith's got 5 points so far.
And Simmons is just the total package. I mean, a player that can really dish it to his teammates.
Simmons against Westbrook. Now here's Zeller. Defense right on him.
And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one.
Yeah, his production has been unbelievable. Really a testament to how much he cares about his craft.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
To the paint. It's deflected. It's stolen by Davis. To the middle. And he lays it straight in. Davis has got 10 points in just the second half.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Indiana's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Evans kicks to Westbrook. From 11 feet away, and Joel Embiid pulls it down. And the 76ers shooting a tremendous 61% from the floor, hitting on all cylinders. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. And now a chance to see what's coming up for Indiana. On Tuesday, they'll be taking on Klay Thompson and the Sacramento Kings. And then on Thursday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the Toronto Raptors.
And you know, for that Pelicans game, it's going to be a battle for this group. You get the feeling they'll need to be at their sharpest if they want to come away with a victory.
Now here's Embiid. 16 points for him. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Davis. Zeller grabs the board. Zeller's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Westbrook. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. Westbrook's got 11.
Boy, if Westbrook gets into the paint, that's a problem. He is tenacious attacking the cup.
Pass to Simmons. And it's good off the back rim and in.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Well, you want to slow this man's roll right now if you're the defense, because you've got to make somebody else beat you. He's cooking right now.
Here's Westbrook after Ben Simmons' bucket. Lets it go with the 3. And again, it's the Pacers from deep.
And this is the problem now. Westbrook converting from the perimeter consistently. Good luck checking him.
And there's Embiid. That's good on the assist by Simmons. Embiid's got 8 points in the quarter.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Here's Magruder, covered by Smith. Here's Magruder. He's got 6. He kicks it to Zeller. And here's Evans outside. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. We've got 1:08 left to play here in the third. Smith outside. Floats it up for Davis. And it's Davis finishing it off.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. Now here's Westbrook. He's got 14. Here's Magruder. No good from outside. Here's Philadelphia. They're on a 16-7 run. Smith in the post. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel.
Yeah, I guess when you're up this big, you can afford to get a little sloppy.
So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Tyler Zeller. TJ Leaf comes in for Sabonis. Taurean Prince, he's checked in for Rodney Magruder. And Shane Larkin subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Indiana's gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. Evans against Smith. Evans kicks to Turner. Over Noel. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
My goodness, get right in his grill and force him to alter the shot. That's tough defense in the post.
And that one's good. Korkmaz.
Exceptional play across the board. I love their tenacity, just piling it on at this point.
You know, the beauty is it hasn't just been offense, right? It's been the defensive end as well. They're firing on all cylinders right now.
Anthony Davis firing on all cylinders for the Philadelphia 76ers. And his big game just keeps getting bigger. That quarter sees him get over 30 points. We've got more in store for you right after this. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate. And how about the setup this was?
Boy, GA, how about the secondary playmaking you are getting? Great to have that from the shooting guard spot.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. Leaf is out there with Bogdanovich. Then there's Shane Larkin. Then it's Zeller, and it's Magruder in at the 2. Here's Leaf. It doesn't go for him. Now the 76ers take it the other way. Here's Korkmaz. So often when a player changes teams, Doris, we see a lot of emotions from him, his teammates, from the fans and coaches. Is it even reasonable to expect loyalty in sports nowadays?
You know, I think times have changed, Kevin. We're no longer living in an era where a player sticks with an organization throughout the course of his tenure, or at least that is the outlier nowadays. The reality is, teams always make decisions with their long-term best interests at heart. And so when a player has earned the right to embrace his free agency, there's a reason it's termed free agency, then he should have an equal opportunity to the team to make the decisions that are in his best interest. Whatever those values and priorities for that individual player are, when you reach free agency, you've earned that right.
Bogdanovich finds Zeller. Count that bucket. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Now here is Smith. Defense is right there. With some arc, and that's 2 points on the layup.
Boy, what touch. You know, a lot of guys don't have the kind of feel necessary to make the floater.
Magruder passes to Larkin. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Inside, Leaf. And the rejection by Noel. Smith surveying the D. Doris, you think of all the highlight reel plays we get to see up close. We're so lucky. We feel the same way every time we sit courtside and watch one of these games. One of the most enjoyable parts about it, seeing the reactions of the guys on the bench.
They're just losing it, Kevin. They're falling down and they're bumping into each other, and then seeing the opposing bench trying to keep that poker face. They know they're not supposed to react, but sometimes the play is just so good you can't help it.
We get out of our seats, don't we? I mean, just like the players do. We get out of our seats.
Oh, no doubt. I'll stand up, wave my hands in the air. Are you kidding? Well, what a terrific option he is for them. Really puts a ton of stress on an opponent.
Kicks to Embiid. Smith outside. Five to shoot. Embiid, no good.
Now, that's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
No, exactly, Greg. Especially when the ball is that deep inside. You've got to respect how he altered that shot.
Philadelphia has gone 2 or 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Count it. Korkmaz has got 8 points here in this quarter.
And defensively, just giving up the high percentage look down low.
Not a lot of aggressiveness from the defense right there. You didn't put up enough fight early to keep him from scoring in the post.
Larkin kicks to Leaf. Here's Larkin. Pass to Leaf. It's taken away by Smith. The finish. And Smith with the stuff.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Fantastic anticipation. Then he shows major explosiveness converting at the other end.
Here's Larkin, and that's good off the glass that time.
Boy, too much of a cushion given to him on that jump shot. That's a big-time no-no.
Smith outside. Look at the state of the game. International League's getting better and better, Doris. There's no doubt about it. We see it at Olympic times and during FIBA play in between. We see a lot of NBA players who have spent time abroad. I think they come back better.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Kevin. I think wherever you can hone your craft and do it in a competitive environment where winning and losing is at stake on a nightly basis, it has so many opportunities for learning and growth. So, okay, I can't turn it over 5 times in a competitive environment, regardless of what league I'm playing in, because that's to the detriment of my team. If I'm lazy on the defensive end, I'm going to get exposed by good offensive players. To me, Kev, I love anytime there's competitive basketball being played. I want to watch it.
Love that answer. Smith on the wing. Four on the clock. Over to the left wing. Pulls up from the corner. Zeller grabs the board. Zeller's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Magruder passes to Bogdanovich. Indiana moving the ball around. And the shot is good.
I'll tell you, he takes the window of opportunity and delivers a nice pass into the post.
For Philadelphia, they've gone 8 of 11 from the field in the final period. Great shooting down the stretch. Here's Korkmaz, and the pass to Embiid. Here's Korkmaz for the 3. Second chance shot. He's off on that one. A D by Bogdanovich. And here's Larkin. He'll bring it up for Indiana. They host the Kings after this game, and that will be the first game of 5 straight at home. Pass to Zeller. And Embiid with the block.
Boy, he hasn't given them much of anything tonight. He's got to look for his own shot a little less and keep the ball moving.
Basket counts. 15 points for Smith.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
I'll tell you, he's relentless right now. He's going straight at the defense and knocking down a lot of shots in this quarter.
Embiid with the steal. Now Smith. Doors with a more punitive luxury tax. Draft picks with their cost-controlled salaries. Never more important than they are today.
No doubt, Kevin. I think teams are very hesitant to part with first-round picks because they have been critical. But I think you also have to consider the second-round picks as being valuable assets. Think about the Golden State Warriors. In each of the last 2 years, they have purchased for money a second-round pick from another organization. And both times, those players ended up being critical parts of the rotation. Every draft pick, first or second round, has value.
Here's Larkin. To the inside. Here's Leaf. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And you can see what the emphasis was at halftime. Here in the second, a lot more effort to get the ball inside, and it's starting to pay dividends.
The Pacers making a switch here. McDermott's checked in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Here's Simmons. Pass to Redick. Back to Simmons. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
Really like watching Simmons go to work down low with his length and strength. There aren't many guys that can keep up with him.
Larkin kicks to Leaf. Dishes to Larkin. And there's a whistle, and that's going to go on Simmons. That is his first foul of the game. When it comes to building confidence, Doris, some people say playing one-on-ones in practice is a huge help. Is that something that you did when you were playing at Providence?
Kevin, I believe this could be the single greatest development tool for any individual player. If you start at the free throw line and play one-on-one against a player who's maybe slightly above your level or certainly at your level, and you limit that one-on-one from the free throw line to 2 dribbles or less, your skill set, I promise you, is going to develop. The other thing I would encourage young players to do is play 3-on-3, because it forces you to move and to cut and to screen, and how to do those things properly if you're going to be effective. I love 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. It always helps you when you go back to the 5-on-5.
Such great advice. Westbrook passes to Prince. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
2 shots.
That's his second personal.
Elbow. 2.
Shooting for Indiana, Taurean Prince. Taking 2 shots.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Prince.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
And both free throws good for Prince. You know, a lot of people have looked at the schedule of the NBA, Doris, and they think, you could eliminate back-to-backs of teams that face each other 4 times in a season, do a 2-game series in each city. It's kind of a baseball-type feel. Would you support that?
You know, it's an intriguing possibility to me, Kevin, because, one, it would cut down on travel, which obviously would make things a little bit better and easier for players. The travel schedule is taxing, particularly on back-to-backs. And so I don't know if there would be an opportunity for Adam Silver to maybe somehow run a test case. Would you be willing to put it in for a season, see how it fits in the overall context of the season? But it is an intriguing idea, and we are trying to improve the product no matter which way we go.
Redick for 3. It's rebounded by Indiana. Westbrook's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. He's looking for Sabonis and finds him. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. That one on Embiid.
If you leave someone open around Russell Westbrook, he knows it's his responsibility to find the open guy.
One shot.
Here's Simmons. 1:56 left in the 4th quarter. He kicks it to Davis. Prince against Covington. Now here's Simmons. Redick for 3. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Westbrook's got 6 rebounds here tonight. It's Bogdanovich on the wing. Over Simmons. Kept alive. Here's Turner, and he gets the bucket.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the 76ers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so taking a look at their record, a nice milestone they'll be picking up tonight. 30 wins on the year now.
And once they polish off this win, they'll be one more victory away from sweeping the season series.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Davis.
I think his steals tell the story. This guy was a disruptive force, and I don't think you can underestimate how important it is for a team to have someone in that role.
Clock at 2. Bogdanovich, no luck. And Simmons has got the ball here for the 76ers. 26 seconds left in the 4th quarter of this one. Passes it to Covington to the inside. Embiid inside. Turner covering. Davis on the follow.
Up by double digits, little time remaining. Way to defend your house.
Well, this is what you call taking care of your business, showing dominance on their home floor. What an excellent effort.
So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily. It was a tale of two teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. AD, it looked like you guys were having some fun out there. Is there a new dynamic coming up offensively?
No, we just don't care who scored the ball. You know, the ball movement was great. Everybody's rebounding and talking. So when we play like that, it's fun to watch. You know, and everybody out there having fun, smiling, a lot of emotion. That's all we asked. That's all Coach asked for, and we did that tonight.
Good win tonight, AD. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. See you later.